Beautiful doggy. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to whatever it is I want to say in terms of welcome back. It's good to see you here again. I like it because Wayne Moss on his channel Fiasco de Gama, he's living out there in Bali in Indonesia. If you ever want to check him out, Fiasco, Fiasco-DE and then GAMA. 3 words, Fiasco de Gama. He's an Australian, he's an Aussie. So he always has his way of beginning his video and stuff like that. Cool guy. I met him in Udaipur, India, back last December 2023. And really cool person. And the camera doesn't do him much justice, the GoPro, because I think he's got it on the wide angle or whatever. So it makes him look like wider and like, I don't know, like heavier than he is. But he's a tall guy, taller than me. I'm 6 feet tall, 6 feet half an inch. Or that's what I used to be when I was 20 years old. Who knows what it is now? You know, you shrink a little bit. And he's like about 6'1.5" or 6'2". And nice guy. So I'm here at the park in Envigado, chilling on a Tuesday morning. Just went to the bank. You probably saw that previous video. And I'm gonna first talk about that story and then get into the whatever the title is of this video, if I'm saying what it is. And if I am not, then I am not. Oh, that's Coffee Cafe Street over there. We got a couple of cafes on the left side here on that street. It's a pedestrian street, 1 block. In case you're interested in nice pastry and all that, and some of them, or some breakfast items. Let's go over to the fountain where the pigeons are taking a bath. So this is the month of December. This is the main town square here in Envigado. So Banco de Occidente. Let's tell you about what happened at Banco de Occidente. Last year, 2023, excuse me, I remember like about a good 4 to 5 weeks before I left to Miami, because I went to Miami first, then London, and then Delhi, India. I remembered because my mom had just passed away a few months before, so my brains were scrambled, my mind was scrambled, whatever you want to call it. It was all, that was a conundrum and a half in terms of my mental state and my focus, my concentration. And I remember then looking at my credit card, getting my documents ready. I had already gotten my visa, my 5-year e-visa, multiple entry tourist visa to India, online and everything. And I remember looking at my credit card, and my credit card says expiration April 2024. I'm like, oh goodness, I gotta get a new plastic, because when you get a new plastic, it's automatic for 4 years again, like 2 years or whatever, 2 years, 3 years expiration date. Because I went to India to live there. In case you don't know, you're new to the channel. I was planning on living in India for the rest of my days and all of that. So I called the bank, my bank, and I talked to one of the customer service representatives, one of the consultants, whatever you want to call them. And I spoke to a girl, a lady, and I told her the story. I need to change it, that's it, because I'm leaving the country and I'll be out for whatever. I wasn't telling her that I was not going to come back to live here. So she said, okay, no problem. I said, all right, can you then cancel the one I have and give me a new one? But please send it to the office in Rio Negro. Please send it to the office in Rio Negro. She said, okay, no problem. I said, all right, good, cool. Are we cool with that? Is that clear? Not a problem. Do not send it to my address, to my grandmother's house in Medellin. Send it to the Rio Negro office. It's easier for me to pick up because I'm living out in the countryside near Rio Negro. I'm not in Medellin. She said, no problem. Okay, cool. When can I pick it up? Oh, in about 2 weeks' time. All right. It was like 8 working days, working days, not including Saturday, Sunday. So, calculated 2 weeks. So, 2 weeks. So I went to the Rio Negro office when I had the chance, because I had a lot of stuff going on, my work and everything. getting everything ready to go. Last steps here, and then we got it. I had to close some last, tie up some last loose ends. So, I go to the office in Rio Negro, which is a city out in Oriente Antioqueño, a higher plateau elevation than this, on a higher savanna or valley, whatever you want to call it. It's a valley, so it's cooler up there. I like it up there in that area, Guarne and everything, Retiro, La Ceja. And I go to the office to pick up my thing, my credit card, my new plastic. And then they're looking for through the little documents. Oh, sorry, we don't have it, sir. It hasn't arrived. Never. I'm like, what do you mean? No, I talked to somebody on the phone, and they said they would send it here. And then they did some searching. And finally, the girl tells me, oh, your credit card was sent to your address. And she told me my grandmother's address. I was like, no. I specifically spoke to somebody on the phone, and I reiterated really strongly, clearly, not to send it there, to send it to the office here. And they said, yes, no problem. And I reconfirmed like 3 times, and the person said, yes, no problem. Now you're telling me it's a problem. I said, so where is my credit card then? Because nobody was expecting the credit card at my grandmother's house, and my auntie didn't call me to say that they had delivered the credit card, and now you can come and pick it up. And they looked in the system and they said, okay, yeah, they did try to deliver it, but nobody answered the door there. I'm like, of course, because they were not expecting it. They were not probably there at the time. So, goodness gracious. Then they tell me it's at the Domesa, one of the courier services here in Colombia, because they have Serie Entrega, you know, kind of like a Federal Express or a UPS thing, you know. And they do this with the bank. The bank uses that company for the service. And then tell me, oh no, it's at the office in Medellin, at their office there. You could go and retrieve it there, claim it. I'm like, you sure? Yeah. So I come down to Medellin. I go, and they give 5 minutes, 10 minutes waiting there for them to give me some info. And they say, sorry, sir, your credit card has been lost. We fumbled the ball. Somebody fumbled the ball. I'm like, what? Then I called I went to an office. I went to the bank. One of the bank offices, Banco Occidente, and I asked, hey, what's going on with my credit card? I was supposed to get the plastic. I talked on the phone, this and that, and they said, oh, sir, sorry. Yes, apparently it was lost, but we don't know who lost it, if it was Domesa or us, the bank. I mean, what do you mean you guys don't know? Are you kidding me? You don't know? I'm like, keeping my calm, being respectful, but at the same time a little irritated. I'm about to leave, and I need my credit card to make certain payments, which I can't do in cash in India or in some places, or I can't use my bank card, my debit card, my bank debit card. I can't use it in some places because they won't allow it. It doesn't work. I had that experience in 2019 in India. Couldn't do any certain online purchases. Long story short, they said, no, sorry, sir, it's going to take another whatever days to get you a new one. We'll send it to your grandmother's address. And I won't be in the country when it gets here, when you guys deliver it. And from what I understand, those kind of things cannot be shipped or, you know, sent through courier service overseas, because somebody can intercept a freaking credit card and steal all my information and run up my bill. And that'll be another conundrum. Oh, yes, sir, you're right. Blah, 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 blah. So I say, what to do? You guys messed it up, and you're making me pay the price. I didn't mess up, it was you guys. And they were trying to blame it on me. You should have done it with more time. What do you mean with more time? I did it with 4.5 weeks of time to go. You guys fumbled the ball. At the end, I left without a proper credit card because they had canceled the old one, because I got it canceled, and then I couldn't get a new one, so I couldn't use my credit card for any purposes whatsoever until I would get the new one and activate it. But I couldn't get the new one. End of story. And then I was still making the payments online, and I came back to Colombia, and then I thought I could give a new credit card, and they said, no, we canceled it all right through. We canceled your account with us. You still have to pay the money you owe, but you don't have a credit card with us anymore. I'm like, you're punishing me for something you guys messed up with, not me. You're punishing me. I've been a customer of yours since 1996, and this is how you treat me. This is how Banco de Occidente treats It's loyal customers, clients. Anyway, that was the story about that experience with the bank card here in Colombia. So now I go to my other topic here, and it sucks. Has anything like this ever happened to any of you guys that are watching this? Because if you're this far into the videos because you like hearing the story, somebody telling stories, good, bad, ugly, and beautiful, whatever, and seeing what I'm showing you at the same time. So, has anything like this ever happened to any of you guys? Has it? Leave your story down in the comments section. I would definitely like to read about it because I am reading my comments these days and answering people back with hearts, thumbs up, and sometimes written messages as a reply in the thread here on the channel. So the other thing is now is that Envigado is a great place. I love it. I don't live here anymore. Don't want to live here again. I'm only staying at mom's place, even though mom is gone. As I told you in the previous thing, in case you didn't know, my mother passed away last year in June of 2023 in my arms. So I'm good. You know, I've already done my mourning and everything. I'm not attached. I love my mom. I gave her all the love I could. I've still given her love, even though she's gone. And I took care of her from December 2021. I lived with her until June 2023, until the end of June 2023. And so I remember I was getting attacked by a few people that are angry about people promoting towns like Envigado in certain neighborhoods, and that the rental prices are going up and everything and whatever. So look, when people try to censor you, that sucks. And I let people censor me. I'm not going to let anybody censor me anymore in terms of these things. I'm not going to be nasty and saying bad words and talking about politics and whatever. I don't get into that. And I'm not a racist. I don't discriminate. I'm not into that. I'm about love for all. We're all one. Oneness. We're all one. Part of the same source, same thing. Whatever you want to call it. That's it. And I don't hate anybody. There are certain people I just don't like, but I love everybody. I love all of creation. So I'm not going to let anybody censor me anymore in terms of certain things. Now, Envigado is a great town if you're an expat or a digital nomad or a traveler, or the old man's coming with his speaker over there, listening to his music. One of the things I find really unpleasant and disrespectful is when pensioners love to hang out here. All of these guys are pensioners in general. There's the old man over there with the green shirt. He's walking around with his little music blasting, and that's something that people in the world do, and it's just something that I don't like. But I used to do it, so I get it. I don't hate the guy, and I was one of them. I used to blast my car stereo. I had the booming system when I had this sports car, these two sports cars, and when I had my Chevy Malibu back in Georgia, and when I would go up to New York on vacation, I would blast it, listening to some of my rock and roll, some Jimi Hendrix, some The Doors, some Floyd, or some hip hop like Naughty by Nature or Run DMC, or back in the early 90s, or Tribe Called Quest, or Outkast, whatever, and some merengue, salsa, vallenato, stuff like that. So yeah. So I was going to say that if you're a digital nomad, expat, a traveler, and you want to live here for a while on a tourist visa, 6 months maximum, you can stay here in the country, in Colombia, on a tourist visa. I mean, you come in and they usually give you 90 days automatically. And then if you want to extend it to 90 more days, then you got to do the whole procedure. I don't know how it is because I'm a Colombian citizen. My first nationality is American. My second nationality is Colombian because I became a Colombian citizen when I was 24 years old here in Colombia. I became a citizen because I was a tourist, and I didn't want to get kicked out, or I didn't want to be here illegally because my 6 months were almost up. So I became a citizen because my mom and dad are Colombian, and I had to show the paperwork, and that's it. So Envigado is a great place. The weather is a little too warm for me these days now. Medellin is hotter because Medellin is just a little lower. But just like Medellin, Envigado both have higher elevations in terms of the mountains, where there are certain neighborhoods like El Poblado would be your best bet for cooler weather and not being in a low income neighborhood. Poblado, Medellin, all the way up there with all the little subsections. So yeah, nice people. It's pretty safe, but it's not as safe as it used to be because of what I've heard from people telling stories, family and friends and neighbors here, even though I don't live here anymore. And I would not want to live here again. I would not want to live in Envigado again. Or in Medellin, because it's just too warm for me. But it's got a lot to offer. The mall from here, the Viva Envigado shopping center, you go down this street and it's like a 10-minute walk. Literally a 10-minute walk to get to the mall. If you want to go to the mall and do some stuff at the mall, the movie theater complex, the sports arena up there, etc. The home center, which is like a Home Depot. Basically, it's the same thing, just different brand name, different company owners. So that's it. I'm not telling you what neighborhoods are good or bad. You can come and explore for yourself, but if you want some neighborhood that is really nice, some neighborhoods like El Dorado over there, in that direction, like 5 blocks that way, El Dorado begins. Or if you want La Magnolia, you just go down that way, down that street over there, and like about 8 blocks down or 7, whatever, you've hit La Magnolia or San Marcos. If you go a block down this way, like this, and then turn right, and you go straight down, same thing, about a good 8 long blocks, you get to the San Marcos church, and that's the whole neighborhood there, in Calle La Buena Mesa. So yeah, that's it. I will talk about the good things, the bad things, but Envigado is a very quiet place in general. Not rowdy like Medellin. And Medellin is just next door. Really. Anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed this chat and showing you, just walking around and showing you the sightseeing in the park. And Barrio Sur is a bar run by a couple. A British man from England, he's English all the way, and his wife is Colombian from Envigado. If you ever want to talk to people in English there are a lot of, usually for the football matches, and especially when they got some European League or English Premier League, whatever you want to call it, football matches, soccer matches. You can go down there and you're likely to run into some British people or some Americans, whatever, and shoot the breeze with them. Take care. Till next time. And if we don't talk again, because you might not come back to the channel, happy holidays.